Another video right here for the Pusilowski Sports Hour. Today, was just chilling. I was like, you know what, I want to put out a video, so I am making my own rendition of the quarterback tier list. The Carson Wentz video from earlier this week inspired me to do this, so we're going to rate a bunch of quarterbacks on this little tier list here for this upcoming season. It's got a bunch of starters, pretty much all the starters, um, and then a bunch of backups. So this should be interesting for sure. And I guess we'll just go in order. So start with Aaron Rodgers. Like I said in that Carson Wentz video, not very much of an argument to be made here. He is elite, back-to-back NFC championships, and you know, 2 years ago against the 49ers, it was the offense that did nothing for him. With the only weapon being Devontae Adams. And then this year, it was the defense not being able to shut down Tom Brady. Actually, you know what? I can't make that argument. They did get 3 interceptions of Tom Brady. So I guess I can throw the blame on Aaron Rodgers. Anyway, he's still an elite talent. For one season right now, if you could ask me any quarterback I'd take, he'd be one of the top 3 or 4 for sure. Any team would be lucky to have him because he's a baller, and at 37, 38, he still makes all the throws, and he's probably going to play as long as Brady is because he's in good shape. Not Brady shape, not in terms of the dieting and workouts and stuff, but he's in good shape. He'll be playing for a long time. Yeah, he's still got 4 or 5 years, if you ask me, as long as the Packers don't make the mistake and let him go. Second on this list, AJ McCarron. Not going to waste any time. He's a free agent. I don't think he's even good enough to be a practice. Actually, he can't be a practice squad quarterback because he's already 4 years in the league. It's the first 2 years to be a practice squad. Alex Smith, who we heard today was just released by the Washington football team and will not be the starting quarterback next year, which means one of two things. They're either going to start Taylor Heineke, which I am not opposed to, but not truly for, or they're going to trade for Sam Darnold from New York, and give Sam Darnold some okay weapons on offense, with that serviceable defense and a very bad division with Ron Rivera. Anything's possible. So considering that, Alex Smith, he is serviceable, I would say, still coming off that horrific injury. He is part of the reason they did make the playoffs. We can't deny that. It's not like any quarterback could be with that team and that defense and uh, lead them to the playoffs. Dwayne Haskins couldn't do it. What's his name? Kyle Allen couldn't do it. So the fact that he was able to do that coming off a horrific injury like that, he's serviceable for sure. Next on the list is Andy Dalton. I saw people make the argument sometimes during this year he's as good as Dak Prescott. Come on now. Let's not make that argument here. Andy Dalton did not win it enough games coming in. He was supposed to be the backup that could get the job done and make with all those weapons can still give them a chance to win the division. And to their credit, they still had a chance to win the division, but that was being, I think they would have finished 6-8-1. So he's not as definitely nowhere up to that Dak Prescott level. That being said, is he better or worse than Alex Smith? I'd say he's about the same, honestly. Next on this list is Blaine Gabbert. Can't be a practice squad quarterback. He's the backup for Tom Brady. So I guess we can put him in backup, which I guess in that case I can throw AJ McCarron in backup. Although I don't think either of them should have a job. Unless they're a backup for a quarterback that is never going to get hurt. So I guess that's a reason Blaine Gabbert is a backup, although I'm going to keep him at free agent. No idea who this dude is. He was the backup for the Cincinnati Bengals when Joe Burrow went out. Ryan Finley, I want to guess, but I know that's not correct. Yeah, he's a free agent. This next one looks like Kyler Murray. I'm pretty sure. No, this is Kyler Murray. So who is that? Oh, that's Brett Hundley. Free agent. Not an argument to be made there. Cam Newton, is he better or worse than Andy Dalton and Alex Smith? Based on the season he had, I think he's serviceable. We'll see how he does in the second year. I think Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick are going to bring him back. Maybe bring in some competition in that locker room. But I think they'll inevitably bring him back for another season. I mean, why not? He had a bunch of opt-outs last year on defense. And hopefully they'll go offense heavy in this draft, to give him some weapons. They got a big pick. Will they take Kyle Pitts like I suggested in my mock draft? Who's to say? So I think Cam Newton's still serviceable for one more year. Next on the list would be Carson Wentz. For now, I'm gonna throw him in star. He's got a chance to go up to borderline elite. I said a lot in the Carson Wentz video. Set the reasonable standard, and I hope to do that today as well. He's a top 10 quarterback, and if you're gonna be a top 10 quarterback, you got to be a star, for sure. He can make all the throws that you need him to. His judgment's just iffy, and he wasn't terribly consistent in the previous 2 years. But he's a star. I mean, he got paid all the big money for a reason. Next on the list is Case Keenum. Baker Mayfield's backup. I actually think he does deserve a backup job over all these guys down here. Leading the Minnesota Vikings to the NFC Championship 4 years ago. It's not like you have no talent. Now, granted, he had some good weapons around him. That defense was insane, but it's not like he has no talent and is terrible. So he's a backup. Chad, anything is possible. The way he played in that playoff game to seal it for Kansas City, and to make the plays he did, he deserves a backup job in this league, and I don't think there's an argument to be made there. Next on this list is some guy. We're going to throw him in free agent. Some guy is a free agent from the Detroit Lions. Colt McCoy, backup. If you ask me, he's still serviceable, but I don't think he's up to that. He's definitely not up to that tier. He can't be a practice squad quarterback because he's just not young enough. I mean, I watched him in the Sunday night game against the Browns. He made some okay throws. He knows all the calls. He knows the audibles and the ins and outs of the games. He just doesn't have the talent to do all those good things. So he's a backup. Dak Prescott, we're going to throw him in the same tier as Carson Wentz. I think that's about right where they're both at, in the top 10 in terms of quarterbacks in this league. He's a star. He deserves to get paid. Not as much as he's requesting, but still deserves to get paid, and I think he will get paid at some point. Just unfortunately, too much money. And I love the kid, and I hope he comes back in a big way this season off that ankle injury. Derek Carr, I put him at borderline star. I don't think he's up to the Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott level. He's very good, but he's had many years, 6 or 7 years now in the league as a starting quarterback. And his team hasn't reached the playoffs but once. One time. So, I mean, what are we doing here? Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott have both, won their division. And they have both. Dak Prescott in his defense has won a playoff game. Derek Carr did not. Carson Wentz is not, but he was hurt in a game he probably could have won. So you can't make the argument that Derek Carr is one equal with these two guys or above them. If he hasn't made the playoffs with a not a terrible team, let's just put it straight. If you're gonna beat Kansas City, you're not a terrible team. Deshaun Watson, elite. He's not borderline elite, but he's elite. Is he at the top above everyone else? I'd say no. The dude's a stud, and he's gonna have a big market. I just hope Houston finally lets him go. I don't think there's an argument to be made that he is elite, without a doubt. Next on this list is Drew Lock. I would put him at average, but I'm going to put him at serviceable because the dude's way overconfident, and he never really lives up to his actions. And I mean, let's get it straight. The Broncos are the fourth best team in that division because of him. He's the fourth best quarterback in that division by a long shot, too. I mean, Mahomes is best quarterback in the league. Justin Herbert is going to be, I think, when we get to him, he's a borderline star, very soon to become a star. I'll go ahead and throw him in there. He's right there at that borderline star very, very soon. I'm even going to put him in star because I think he'll be a star after this next season with a new head coach. But Drew Lock, he's obviously below Derek Carr and Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. So I don't know if I can put him at average because I haven't seen anything. Gardner Minshew Mania. He's going to be a backup next year for Trevor Lawrence. So let's go and throw him in the backup tier. Geno Smith would be a practice squad guy. I think he is a free agent, in my opinion. Jacoby Brissett, serviceable, I would say. At the lower end of the serviceable tier, but he's not terribly talented. He could be a backup for some people, but I think he's certainly better than Case Keenum, Colt McCoy, Chad Henne, and Gardner Minshew. Jalen Hurts, I'd say he's average. I didn't like him as a prospect coming out of college as an NFL quarterback. He showed some sparks last year, that is for sure. And it's going to be his job now. So let's see what he does in his first year with a new head coach. No weapons on offense. A defense that is certainly not improving, but getting worse. Can he live up to the stakes? And he's got a chance to win the division with that division. It's anyone's game. So let's just see what he does. This is Jameis Winston. Yes, Jameis Winston. He's going to be the starter for the Saints next year. I think he's right there at that average tier. I don't mind him as a starting quarterback for sure. He's got an arm, to throw, to lead the league in touchdowns. 2 years ago, you can't do it without having no talent. Now the 30 interceptions is bad, but hopefully with Sean Payton, that'll be cleaned up. Jared Goff, he's right there at that average tier, if you ask me. There's a reason he got traded. Let's be honest here, because he's limited in his ability. He's a great play action thrower, but unfortunately, you can't fully rely on the play action. And when it comes down the wire in the fourth quarter, you have to be able to make big plays, and Jared Goff simply does not do that. Next is Jared Stidham. He's still young enough to be a practice squad guy, so I'm going to put him at practice squad quarterback. Not super talented. That Auburn team was the stars around him. His play was very good, but he was not the star by any means um, for that Auburn team. So with that being said, I put him at practice squad quarterback. Number 9 on the Broncos. Don't know who you are. Practice squad. Or not practice squad, free agent. Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's average because I think he's extremely limited. Let's go. I actually can rank these right here. He's extremely limited in his talent. He's injured all the time. 2 out of the 4 years, or he's only played one full season with San Francisco. Now, granted, he did make the Super Bowl and was one throw away from winning a Super Bowl in that 1 year. But you can't deny that defense was a huge part of the reason he was there, and that run game as well under Kyle Shanahan. I think he's limited. He's not a raw athlete. His arm is good, not special or great by any means, so he's average. Joe Burrow. Dude was having a great season. I'm going to put him at borderline star because I think he's about as good as Baker Mayfield. So we'll go ahead and throw Baker in here where he is. Where is Baker? Baker? Where you at, bud? Is there no Baker? No Baker Mayfield on here. Am I blind? There's no Baker Mayfield on here. So let's go ahead and do a little edit. Let's pretend this is Baker Mayfield, even though it is not. It is clearly Case Keenum. Yeah, and we will pretend this is Baker Mayfield and throw. He's a borderline star. I think Joe Burrow is better than Baker Mayfield. I think he honestly, if you ask me right now, he's not as good as Lamar Jackson, so he would be the second best quarterback in that division because you have the Steelers with Big Ben, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. So he's better. I think he's better than Baker Mayfield. He's borderline star. He's gonna have hopefully he comes back very well from the complete knee shred, and has a good year. So I think he's a borderline star just because. Well, look at the guys on average. Is he better than the 4 guys right here? Yes, because he had the best statistical season in college football history 2 years ago, and it wasn't because he didn't have any talent. Now, granted, he had 3 first-round picks at wide receiver, a first-round pick at running back, a first-round pick at left guard, and an all-star defense, best college football roster ever assembled. But he won the Heisman for a reason because he makes spectacular plays. So he's a borderline star. Joe Flacco, please retire. Free agent. John Wolford. He looked okay, but I don't think he's big enough. Practice squad. Jordan Love, practice squad, and he's going to be for a while. What a waste of a first-round pick right there. All right, we get some interesting one right here. Josh Allen. Now, I don't want to say he's borderline elite because I'm not a fan of him, but I can't deny talent when I see it. Dude's got a cannon of an arm. He can run all over the field, 6'3". But he's not elite because, he's still young. He's still got room to grow. He hasn't had that spectacular playoff performance that Deshaun Watson has had twice. He's not a Super Bowl champion like Patrick Mahomes is. and Aaron Rodgers is. Um, but he's better than Carson Wentz, better than Dak Prescott, because both of them didn't play much last year. Better than Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert's still young. We'll throw Russell Wilson up here. Not going to waste time here. I think he's the third best quarterback in the NFL. Right there. Mahomes 1, Rodgers 2, Wilson 3. Then after there's some argument you can make for some players. Go ahead and throw Tom Brady up there. As the fifth best. I think Deshaun's better. If you ask me for one season, who would I rather have? Well, you would say Brady, but I will preface you with this. With Brady, you can't. I mean, let's just say you throw Brady on the Bengals. Well, the Bengals, you can't guarantee you put a bunch of talent around Tom Brady like the Buccaneers did. If you just throw Tom Brady in that situation, I don't think he does better than Deshaun Watson does or better than any of these four guys do, which is why he is not better than them. Now he's the GOAT, but for one season right now, who plays better on the Cincinnati Bengals? The four guys above him that I have there. Kirk Cousins, right there in that Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff territory. Very limited. He throws an accurate ball. Arm is good, not great, not special. No mobility. Why did he get paid so much? Who knows? Number 8 on the Washington football team. Don't know who you are. Free agent. Here's Kyler Murray. This guy's a star. For sure. Special talent of the throw. Of an arm. He's got the fastest feet I've ever seen in my life with my own 2 eyes. I mean, this guy, unfortunately for him, he's playing on the 4th best team in the division. And I don't know if he's going to make a lot of playoff performances in his career because he's playing with the Arizona Cardinals. But the dude's a stud, without a doubt. I don't know if he creeps up into the top 10, but he's very, very close. Lamar Jackson, I'd say he's right there in the Josh Allen territory, but he's better than Josh Allen. I'm not prepared to call him elite yet. He's an elite talent, but is he an elite quarterback? Not yet. He hasn't beaten Patrick Mahomes. Now, of course, a lot of people haven't. But, I mean, Rodgers has, Wilson has, Deshaun has, and Tom Brady has. So there is an argument to be made there. He's played Mahomes 2 or 3 times. Hasn't beaten him. Rodgers won in Kansas City on a Sunday night. Wilson won in Seattle on a Sunday night. Deshaun won in the regular season on CBS. And Tom Brady won in the Super Bowl. And in the AFC Championship. And I think one more time with the Patriots. Number 5 on the Tennessee Titans. Don't know who you are. Free agent. Marcus Mariota. I think he's average. No, he's serviceable. And I say that he's got quick feet, for sure. But he's better than these 2 guys. Probably and better than Newton. I'd take him over Newton in New England. But he makes mistakes throwing the football. He throws too many interceptions. Mason Rudolph got hit in the head, so he probably shouldn't have a job. Number 5. Who is this? This Jake Fromm? Free agent, don't know who you are. Matt Ryan. Gosh, I wish there was a tier. Can we add a row? And we'll just make it the gray color, sure. Yeah, sure. And this is a row called. Yeah. Okay, that's a good row. I like that. 28-3. Throw that right there. Throw this back to this color. Okay, that should be good. There's a good spot to throw Matt Ryan right there. He's above average for sure with his arm and his accuracy, but he's not a borderline star anymore. 28-3 is a good. I like that tier. It's a good tier for him. Matthew Stafford, borderline star right here. Better than Derek Carr. Uh, better than Joe Burrow. But I don't think he's definitely not a star. I don't think you can say. If you said the word Matthew Stafford to me and you asked me to give you adjectives, I wouldn't say a star. I'd say good arm, fighter, veteran, knowledgeable, sneakily mobile would be the adjectives I'd give you. Mike Glennon, free agent. Mitchell Trubisky, oh, he's better than Drew Lock, better than Jacoby Brissett, better than Cam Newton. Not as good as Marcus Mariota. That's where I'll stop. He's serviceable. You don't win the division as a quarterback and not be not serviceable. You know, you're not a backup and win the division unless you're just handed it. If you start the whole season and win the division and get a home playoff game in that division too. I mean, granted, Aaron Rodgers was hurt, but the Vikings are still a very good team to win that division. Credit to Matt Nagy for that happening, but you don't win that being absolutely terrible. Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick. There's a reason Mitchell Trubisky started over him is because he's not as good as he used to be. He's not. Super Bowl 52 is unfortunately not the way he plays every single weekend. Nick Mullins, a backup, career backup. Teddy Brid. Oh no, that's. Is that? No, that is Philip Walker. PJ Walker. I love PJ Walker. I wish he got more minutes. I think he's right there at average. I say this because, well, granted, I'm a little biased. But if you go back and watch his XFL highlights, the dude can run all over the field. He's got good moves, and he's got a good arm. He's just small, undersized. And he doesn't have a cannon by any means. And he's not experienced in the NFL, but he's better than Alex Smith. Now Madden would disagree, but I would disagree with Madden. Ha, suck it. RG3 backup. Is it RJ3? I think it is. Otherwise, it would be the other guy. But I don't know the other. I don't know who the Hugh are. That's a free agent. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Better than Philip Walker. Better than Jalen Hurts. Not better than Jameis Winston. Veteran. Good arm. Knowledgeable. Leader. Team guy. Yeah, he's right there in that average tier. Ryan Tannehill. Right at the top of average. I don't think he fits into the 28-3 category. But by no means is he a borderline star. Like I said in that Carson Wentz video, when you have Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith, you're going to put up good numbers if you have any talent. Because you can run the football wherever you want, and then you can go to the play action game, and you got three great speed demon route runners with good hands who are tall and can jump out of the gym. Of course he's going to have good numbers. Sam Darnold, better than Jalen, better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't. I'd say he's better than Jameis Winston, but it's hard to say he's better than Kirk Cousins. He's gonna get a job or another chance in New York. With Alex Smith being released, it's a chance he goes to Washington, like I said earlier. I hope he gets a good chance because he was absolutely hosed in New York. Taysom Hill, the guy I hope doesn't start. He's serviceable because he's limited. He's 32. Yes, he can run like crazy, but if you played him for 16 games, are you sure he wouldn't get hurt with the way he runs? And if you're trying to keep him healthy and you're not running him like that, then what is the reason for him playing? He's supposed to play like that because he can run like that. Because his arm is good, but it's not special. It's his mobility. So are you confident that he can protect himself and still run like that? I'm not, and I'm a Saints fan, and I love the guy. Teddy Bridgewater. He is right in between Jimmy Garoppolo and Jared Goff, if you asked me. Is good. Wearing two gloves is weird. I don't know how he does that. But you don't win a bunch of games and go undefeated with the Saints when Drew Brees goes out for nothing. Granted, good weapons, Sean Payton, and a good defense. But he still played very good. Tua, unfortunately for him, he's average. And he's clearly not better than Ryan Fitzpatrick on any given Sunday. Very disappointing rookie season. I think there's some questions about him. Hopefully he comes out next season and plays very good. But he just doesn't look as special as he did at Alabama. And granted, I think that is because he doesn't have the weapons that he did at Alabama. When you get to play with Devontae Smith, first rounder, in the top 10 too. Jalen Waddle, first rounder, possibly in the top 10. I'm blanking. All those Alabama stars that come out as receivers. Of course, you're going to look very good. And he was left-handed. Maybe that puts some little bit of a swagger on it, would be the word. Tyrod Taylor, he's serviceable. Honestly, he's right there at Mitchell Trubisky's level. Honestly, it's unfortunate that he got stabbed in the lung by his team doctor and effectively didn't get to play the rest of the season because of it. But I think the Chargers are better off because of it, because now they know they have a star in Justin Herbert. So Tyrod Taylor is going to be a backup somewhere, or he's going to get a job for a few weeks. With it, maybe you get a rookie quarterback and he can be a veteran to help that guy. And Daniel Jones. Right there is where I'm going to put him. Daniel Jones, average. Not a special arm, not special mobility. It's Daniel Jones. I don't know why he was picked number 10. He never deserved to be a first rounder, in my opinion, and to this day, I still don't understand that. So that's it. That's my entire tier list right there of NFL quarterbacks. I kind of ranked who's the best as you go down. So let's go. Number 1 is Mahomes, no argument. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady. And then at number 6 is Lamar Jackson. Number 7 would be Josh Allen. So number 8, here we are setting the standard, would be Carson Wentz. 9 being Dak Prescott. Number 10 being Kyler Murray. 11 being Justin Herbert. 12, Matthew Stafford. 13, Derek Carr. 14, Joe Burrow. 15, Baker Mayfield. Number 16, Mr. 28-3 himself, Matt Ryan. Number 17, Ryan Tannehill. 18, Jimmy G. Garoppolo. 19, Teddy Bridgewater. 20, Jared Goff. 21, Kirk Cousins. 22, Sam Darnold. 23, Jameis Winston. 24, Ryan Fitzpatrick. 25, Tua. 26, Daniel Jones. 27, Jalen Hurts. 28, P.J. Walker. 29, Taysom Hill. 30, Alex Smith. 31, Andy Dalton. 32, Marcus Mariota. And if you went from there, those are your 32 starting quarterbacks in the league. And from there, everyone else is a backup. So Mitch Trubisky, Tyrod Taylor, Nick Foles, Cam Newton, Jacoby Brissett, Drew Lock, Colt McCoy, Chad Anything is possible, Gardner Minshew Mania, Nick Mullins, RG3 or the other guy, Jared Stidham, John Wolford, Jordan Love, McCarron, Blaine Gabbert, number 8, Brett Hundley, some guy, Geno Smith, some other guy, Mason Rudolph, Joe Flacco, some other guy, some other guy, Mike Glennon, and some guy to finish it off. There you go. I'll take a little screenshot of this. Argue with me in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed it. Throw it a like if you want to. Subscribe. Share it with friends. And I will see you in the next one. Peace, Mahomie.